Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Australians. I just wanted to do a short video, a little bit different to most of my others. Just would like to try and encourage people and inspire people perhaps to look into their history, look into your backgrounds, your forefathers, and what they did throughout history to secure the future for you, for us, for their children, their children's children. What kind of effort they went to. So I started to delve back into my history. Some of this I have been aware of, but I actually uncovered a little bit more today. I am very, very proud of my forefathers. My father's side from Scotland, and we're from the clan, the Graham clan. So I've traced it back to the 12th century. We have got, it starts off about a legend that the Roman Antonine Wall across Scotland was first breached by a Graham. And due to this, it is sometimes referred to as Graham's Dyke, D-Y-K-E. Then we have got, when David I claimed the throne of Scotland, Graham was one of the knights who accompanied him. We then have the manor of Gregham, which is apparently where the Grahams were residing back in the 12th century, is recorded in William the Conqueror's Doomsday Book. I'm going to have to look into that one now. Sir William de Graham was present at the erection of the Holyrood Abbey, witnessing its foundation charter. The first lands that the chiefs of Clan Graham appeared to have held were around Dalkeith in Midlothian. Sir Nicholas de Graham attended the Parliament of 1290, where the Treaty of Berkham was signed. This is a treaty, there were two treaties signed, the Treaty of Salisbury and the Treaty of Berkham. It was regarding trying to secure Scotland's independence. It was regarding a marriage from, I think she was the Maiden of Norway. But I think at the end of it, the English went back on the treaty. Sorry, phone call coming in. Now, another one that I am very, very proud of is Sir John de Graham. He was a friend of William Wallace's and was considered one of his most noble of knights. Sir John de Graham is regarded as a hero. He rescued William Wallace at the Battle of Queensbury. Sir John de Graham was regarded as William Wallace's right-hand man, and Wallace was at his side when Graham was killed in 1298 at the Battle of Falkirk. John de Graham's name is still perpetuated in the district of Grahamston. His grave and everything is apparently still in good tact over there. The Clan Graham also fought against the English at the Battle of Durham in 1346 in support of King David II of Scots. In John Stewart's book, The Grahams, he states the most Scottish clans would proud to have one great hero. The Grahams have three. He refers to St John de Graham, the Marquis of Montrose, and the Viscount of Dundee. It is remarkable that the early Grahams were one and all exceedingly capable men, in an age with a reputation of many great public figures. Alas, that most of the Scottish nobility was sullied by deeds of violence, and often deeds of blackest treachery. It is refreshing to find that the Grahams stand out as loyal and true to the causes they espoused. Their story is not one of rapid rise to power through royal favour, or even at the expense of their peers, but rather a gradual, steady rise based on their undoubted ability and worthiness, which seems to have endured from one generation to another. I then come up to the 15th and 16th century. Mugdock Castle was the clan's stronghold. The Clan Graham fought at the Battle of Souchiburn, led by the 3rd Lord Graham. This battle was fought on the 11th of June in 1488. Then in 1504, Lord Graham, on account of his gallantry, was made Earl of Montrose. He would go on to lead part of the Scottish vanguard against the English at the Battle of Flodden in 1513, which was part of the Anglo-Scottish Wars, where he was slain. The Clan Graham was among the clans which fought against the English at the Battle of Pinkie Cleugh in 1547, where Robert, the eldest son of the 2nd Earl, was killed. Then we come to the 17th century and the Civil War. One of the most notable chiefs of the Clan Graham was James, Marquis of Montrose, a poet, but above all, the most distinguished royalist soldier of his time. He played a massive part in the Civil War in Scotland, and the Grahams rallied to their chief. Montrose had had successive victories at the Battle of Tippymure, the Battle of Inverlochy, the Battle of Alford, the Battle of Kilsyth, etc., etc. Our forefathers fought battles and faced imminent death. All we've got to do is stand up, people. Anyhow, in 1646, Montrose laid siege to the castle Shannonry of Ross, which was held by the Clan Mackenzie, and took it from them after a 4-day siege. Then we have got the another notable Graham was John, Viscount of Dundee. He was known as Bonnie Dundee to his clansmen, apparently for his very good looks. By means of purchase and inheritance, the Graham lands had become, by the late 17th century, among the richest in Scotland. I've got a little bit more about him as well. He was known as Bloody Clavers, because they're from the Claver House, to his enemies, because he was very fierce in battle. So, as I said, very proud. He was a supporter of the Stuart cause. Viscount Dundee raised his standard on Dundee law. How's that? Someone who was into law, in support of the Jacobite cause. I just love it. His greatest victory was at the Battle of Killiecrankie. The death of Dundee, in the midst of the confusion of the cavalry charge, formed the subject of numerous legends, the best known of which is the long prevalent but of course entirely false tradition that he was invulnerable to all bullets, as he was actually killed by a silver bullet. There we go. So he was known as Bonnie Dundee to his clansmen and Bloody Clavers to his enemies. He was an able military commander. He raised the Highland clans to fight for the Jacobite cause. So that's a little bit of my history. Look into your history, people. Our forefathers, over centuries, have fought for our freedoms and for our rights. I then, of course, have my ancestry with the Anzacs as well. My grandfather and my great uncles, 12 of them. One was a light horseman who then went over to Canada and started up the Royal Mounted Police over there. So look into your history, people. It is fascinating. Get some of your soul and your spirit back from your generations. It is amazing what is passed on without you knowing about it. I'm very surprised to find out that there were JPs and those involved with Parliament and law, as well as warriors. God bless everyone. Please stand up. Find it somewhere within yourselves to stand up and get this country back. We can make Australia great again. We can be a self self-sustaining, self-sufficient country. We are rich. We are rich in knowledge. We are rich in resources. We are rich in people. We have an amazing, the tribal sovereigns of this land as well. We're so rich in spiritual background of this country. Australia is actually the oldest land on the planet, and this is actually it's a fact. It's a fact. And if you go back, if you're into geology, it's all very, very evident there. You'll find we've got a lot of granite. Granite boulders are what is left after a volcano has died, and then the whole mountain has washed away over hundreds of thousands of millions of years. The granite is what is left from the base of the volcano. That is how old our country is. We live in a very spiritual land. We need to save our country, people. Let's rise. God bless. Light, love, peace, and lawfully.